What's going on, everybody? It's your boy MC. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the video. Let's go. So I've been getting a lot of requests from people, wondering how to get into the sports card hobby, how to get into the market, what exact details do I need to know, how do I make money? So, I thought the best thing to do was bring you guys a video, break it all down for you, go step by step, detail by detail, just kind of breaking everything down and that you do have to know, everything that you do have to understand, just all the ins and outs. So first things first, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button for me. I'm a new channel here, so I'm going to be focused solely on sports cards. I'm going to be going through my monthly pickups, ripping open boxes, just other little things here and there that people might want to know, people might want to see in the sports card hobby. So the first thing we're going to get into here for the actual video is licensing. So licensing is important to know because it's going to vary from each sport. So as you can see here, we have a Topps update and a Panini Donruss. And the main difference between the two is going to be logos. So as you can see, we have a logo on the helmet, a logo on the chest, and a logo on the shoulder there for this Topps card. Here on the Panini, we don't have anything. We don't have any logo on the helmet, nothing on the jersey. So, it may seem silly, but the value between these two cards is drastically different. And that's because, this Juan Soto Topps update has these logos. And when people are looking for baseball rookie cards, they're going to be looking for a Topps update, or they're going to be looking for a Topps Series 1 or a Series 2. So that's going to be the first thing you have to understand is from sport to sport, it's going to be different. The manufacturer's going to have the licensing, and it's going to differ from manufacturer. So in baseball, Topps is going to be your sole manufacturer that has the licensing. The next thing we're going to look at here is football and basketball. And the reason why I'm combining these two is because Panini has the licensing for both of these sports. I don't own any non-Panini football and basketball cards, so I pretty much just stick to Panini. As you can see, we have the Chargers logo, Nike logo there. We have the Cleveland logo on the chest there. So like I said, Panini has the licensing for the NFL and NBA. So when I'm looking at sports cards, I'm looking at Panini. The next thing to get into here is going to be what exact sets am I looking for? And what I mean by sets is basically models. So when you have your car, you have a Honda Civic, you have your Honda Accord. That's going to be the same exact concept here. You have your Panini Prism, your Panini Select, and your Panini Mosaic. So these are just the sets that I collect in. It's only a few of them that I do collect in. So these are going to be universal between basketball and football. They both have these same sets. There's the NFL version of Prism, NFL version of Select, and NFL version of Mosaic. So whatever design you like the best, you can kind of go with that. But there are going to be different price points. So for instance, Prism is going to be probably your most popular set. It is going to be a very expensive set to get into. Select is going to be, kind of mid to high tier. And Mosaic is going to be pretty much just a mid tier. This is a newer set that I believe came out for basketball a couple years ago. And for the NFL, it just came out this year. So to kind of recap the NFL and NBA, the sets you're looking for is obviously going to be within Panini because they do have the licensing. But sticking with Prism, Select, and Mosaic, you won't go wrong. But it's just going to kind of be your preference. For the MLB, I'm going to bring that Juan Soto Topps card out. It's just going to be pretty much your flagship series. So what I mean by flagship is your Series 1, Series 2, and your update. Those are going to be pretty much the only sets that are going to be what I collect in, at least. I know once you get into your autos and your numbered cards, there's going to be some sets that might be better than others and are going to be more valuable, but for the most part, it's just going to be your top Series 1, Series 2, and update for the MLB. The next thing we're going to look into here is what exact cards are we looking for each player. So we do see there's going to be an RC there. Another RC right there. And what that means is that it's a rookie card. And the reason why rookie cards are so valuable is because it is their first card that they have for that specific sport. So as you can see, we have a Cedi Osman and a Kobe White. I've been hearing a lot of debate about Cedi Osman. Is he the GOAT? Leave a comment down below. I think it's pretty debatable. He's up there, in my opinion. If he's not one, he's probably two. So just leave a comment. Let me know, yes or no. Is Cedi Osman the GOAT?
I have one word in answer to what you just asked me. No! How about a big no?
So to kind of recap that portion again, RC rookie card, that's going to be the main thing you're looking for in sports cards, no matter the sport. I'm not sure. I know soccer, sometimes they don't have that RC emblem on there. So, it might be different for soccer, but for, basketball, football, and baseball, the RC logo is going to mean rookie card, and that's going to be a pretty valuable card. The next thing we are going to look into here is parallels. So what I mean by parallel is these different colors. So as you can see, we have a zebra and we have a disco. The reason why I brought this middle card is because it is a short print. So what that means is that it has a finite number to 75. As you can see here, these are going to be rarer cards, but they don't have any number to notify and to let us know how many of these are made. That doesn't mean that this is going to be more than 75. It could be 50, could be 60. I don't think there's numbers. I don't think there's statistics to show what exact number these cards are and how many are made. But for instance, these are going to have your numbers on them. So the reason why parallels and numbered cards are going to be a little bit more important is because they are more valuable. So when you get to players like Luka Doncic, Zion Williamson, John Morant, your discos, your zebras are going to be pretty expensive. I'm talking about in the thousands. So parallels are going to be pretty popular because they have so much value to them. The next thing we're going to look at here is supplies. So supplies are very important because it's to keep your card protected. And the reason why protection for your card is very important because you want to get good grade. I'm going to be going over grading here in a little bit. And grading, in my opinion, is the best way to make money. It's the best way to have some crazy profits on cards. So what we have here is just some regular flimsy card sleeves. These are going to be pretty important. I throw every single one of my cards in here that have some sort of value. Here we have a top loader. It's just a little bit of a thicker plastic that you throw your sleeved card into. And here we have a magnetic one touch. So these are where I put my autographs, my numbered cards. I don't put a lot of cards in my one touches because they are pretty expensive. They're like $5 per. So I kind of just keep my more rare cards in there, my numbered and my autos. So these are about $5, $4. These I believe are $3, $4, $5, and these are going to be about $1. So where do we find this stuff at? Where do we find boxes? Where do we find supplies? Where do we find cards? It's really just going to depend. For boxes, I can't really say because, some people are going to say Target and Walmart and some people aren't. And the reason why there's going to be a difference is because I know where I live, I can't find any cards at my Target and at my Walmart. So obviously I can't go there and get cards. So if you do have the chance to buy any boxes of cards at your Target and Walmart, go ahead and do so. That's going to be your best value. They're selling them there for 20, 30, 40 bucks, and they're flipping on eBay in your LCS for, 3-4 times that. So like I said, if you are able to find them in those retail stores, go ahead and pick them up. But if you aren't able to, someone like me, I pretty much just stick to my LCS or eBay. And what an LCS is your local card shop. So they are going to have boxes, they are going to have singles, and they're definitely going to have supplies there. So when you're looking for boxes at your LCS, they're going to be a little bit more expensive. I tend to stay away, but it's always good to support, your local small business. The next thing you can do is go on eBay, and eBay is going to be where you have the most variety at pricing that is going to be very competitive. So I don't buy supplies on eBay, but I do buy boxes there, and I do buy my singles there. And what I mean by singles is a single card. So as you can see, this is just a single card. I didn't get it out of a box. I bought it off eBay. And the reason why I do that is because I am treating the sports card hobby like a stock market. So, what you're looking for essentially is buying cards at a buy low point. For instance, Cedi Osman. For instance, Kobe White. These guys, like these parallels here, they're pretty popular. And once, maybe 3, 4, 5 years from now, they could be having an all-star season and their cards will skyrocket because they do have, value to them now. So that is how I invest. I look at players, I look at cards that I think, that is kind of undervalued. I think in 3, 4 years from now, they could skyrocket. I think they do have the potential, to be an MVP, to be on the all-star team. So that's how I look in the sports card hobby, how I invest. I'm going to be going over a specific process I do have on eBay. So, just to kind of recap everything that we have in this first part of this video, you are looking for your licensing. So, as I said, licensing for the MLB is going to be Topps. Licensing for the NBA is going to be Panini. And licensing for the NFL is going to be Panini as well. So the sets that you're looking for in Panini is going to be, your Prism, your Mosaic, your Select. Those are just kind of the three main sets that I know I collect. It's going to be different based on preference on what you like. And, always getting into a parallel is definitely not a bad idea, especially if you think that player, has some value or could have some value 3, 4, 5 years from now. For the MLB, we pretty much just stick to Series 1, Series 2, and Update. And just kind of going over the last part of this first section, boxes you can find, supplies and cards you can find either on eBay, your LCS, or your retail Walmart and Target stores. So the next thing we're going to be doing here is going on eBay. So I'll meet you over there. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Here we are on eBay. I'm going to be going through, how to look for single cards, how to look for boxes. And, the last thing I'm going to go over is how and why are graded cards so profitable. We're going to be going through the pricing, the specific breakdowns on, how much, you can increase your profits with graded cards. So let's get into the first thing, which is how to look for single cards. So the first thing you're going to have to look for is the rookie year of the player you're trying to invest in, which let's look for Ja Morant. So 2019, 2020 Panini, because Panini has the licensing for basketball. Prism, because it's the most popular set. We're just going to look for Prism. Ja Morant, and then base, because we're not looking for, any type of parallels or anything like that. So we have that typed in here. As you can see, we have one for 125, 230, 250. We have another one for 130. One thing you have to understand on eBay is that the pricing is going to fluctuate a lot. You're probably not going to know what it's really worth until you look and do your research on the comps. And what I mean by comps is basically comparisons. So the best way to do that is actually pretty easy. On the left-hand side down here, you're going to see sold items. That's all we're looking at. So the recent ones have sold for about 115. That's graded 115, 138, 120, 128. That's pretty high. But we're seeing it for about $120. So what I'm going to do is get out of sold, and we are going to go in here and make an offer for, $110, $115, just try and get it a little bit below what the market's at. Just try and get like a better deal. So, that's kind of how you look at single cards. And when you're investing in players, you can go in and you can, go buy 3, 4, 5 of them. The best way to get a better deal so you don't have to pay for as much tax and shipping is looking and going, okay, so 2019, 2020, Panini Prism, Ja Morant base. And instead of, buying 4 or 5 of these and spending $15, $20 on shipping, you can just type in lot of 4. And generally what's going to pop up is, as we don't see it here, obviously. So here, like this isn't the Prism that we're looking for, but it shows a lot of 4. And what that means is just going to be 4 of those cards that you're looking for. I like to do that because sometimes, as you can see down here, they add in some different cards and you get a better selection. You get more diversity of sets. So, that's something that I like to do sometimes is instead of just buying a single card, if I can afford to buy more, then I'll type in lot 4 and, either it'll pop up with 4 prisms or it might pop up with a select, a prism, and a mosaic, something like that. So, that's kind of how we look for our single cards. To get into boxes here is pretty much going to be the same exact thing. We're going to find that year that we're looking for. So if we're looking for a Ja Morant card, but we just want to rip a box, we can go 2019, Panini, Prism, Blaster. This is a blaster box is going to be about 30 to 40 cards depending on the set. I know for Prism it's 32. For Mosaic, I think it's 32 as well. But then you get into Panini NBA Hoops, and I think it's like 88 or something like that. So it just depends on the set. These are boxes, these are retail boxes that are found, in your Target, in your Walmart for 20 bucks. And, people are able to flip them for $430. So just beware of that. If you do have the chance, like I said earlier, to find these boxes in your retail stores, please do so. You're saving so much money, and you can even sell a couple boxes for, 4 or 5 times, 6, 7 times what you bought them for. So we're gonna try and find. Okay, here we go. So 475, 430. That's how much they're going for right now. About $440, $450. So what I will do is go down here, click out of sold, and so 430, that's pretty good price. These are Panini drafts, so they're not going to be valuable cards really. You can go ahead and buy some, obviously, if that's what you want to do, but they don't really hold value that well, especially when their pro card comes out, because these Panini drafts are the players in their college uniforms. So here we have 475, 500. So that's kind of how we look for boxes. It's pretty much going to be the same as finding, your single cards. Let's type in another box here. So Panini Prism Hobby box. These are non-retail, as you can see, it says hobby. So remember, this is draft. This is a retail hobby box, which they do make retail hobby boxes. I believe those are going to be a little bit less than your actual hobby boxes, which here is a regular hobby box. So as you can see, there's plenty of different options. You have your choice, you have your regular hobby, you have retail hobby. So those are just things that you'll have to do research on, figure out which one that you do like. Those are going for thousands of dollars. So, I just tend to stay away from those just because the value, as you saw, this is a $3,500 box, $3,800 box, and your Ja Morant's going for $125. There's no way you're going to pull 15, 20 Ja Morants. It's never going to happen. You can pull 2 or 3, but the chance of you pulling cards that are worth $2,000, $3,000, it's very slim. So I tend to stay away from boxes. But they are fun to rip, and they are fun to you never know what you're gonna get. So that's kind of how we go through boxes. The next thing we're gonna look at here is grading. So I'm just gonna break down the pricing for you of why grading is so crazy. So 2019 Panini Prism, Ja Morant, PSA 10. So as we saw earlier, that 2019 Panini Prism Ja Morant was going for about $115, $120. Let's take a look at what a PSA 10 goes for. So $599, $465. That's actually a pretty good price. Let's go down and let's see what the recent solds are going for. So $485. That's probably sold for closer to $500, $480. So as you can see, the base Ja Morant Prism Raw, which again Raw is non-graded, those go for about $125, and these go for about $480. So when we get into grading, what my strategy is I will go in and buy maybe 4 Ja Morants, because that's how much a PSA 10 is. I'm going to go in and buy 4 raw Ja Morants for $125 each, and that equals $500. And I'm going to get them graded at, I think it's around $26 to get them graded. So 26 times 4 is another $100. So you're spending $600 total, which is $100 less or $100 more than what you would pay for a PSA 10. And the chances of you getting 2 PSA 10 from that batch of PSA cards you just sent in, it's pretty good. I mean, most modern cards are going to gem mint, which gem mint means PSA 10, about 50 to 60% of the time. So your chances of getting 2 10s back is pretty good. So you're spending $600, and you're at least going to be getting back $900. So, that's kind of my investment strategy when I'm looking for cards. When I'm looking on eBay, I'm going to go in and try and find multiples and send those multiples in to get graded. Now, one thing that I will say is that you have to do your due diligence. You're going to have to contact the seller and say, hey, can I see more pictures? And see how well the card is and what type of condition it's in. Because, some people might be selling some cards that might have a scratch on it, and that one scratch can keep your card from getting a PSA 10. Let's look at what PSA 9 values are, because the PSA 9 to PSA 10 values are pretty different. So PSA 9, that goes for $140. So As you can see, the 9s and 10s, they have drastically different values. So that little small scratch on that card that you just bought can potentially, you know, lose you what, 300, $400. So, you know, that's the type of thing that you're going to have to do, is contact these sellers, make sure you get better pictures, make sure you ask, say, hey, are there any scratches or anything I don't know or I should know about the card? So that's kind of going over the single cards that we're looking for, the boxes that we're going for, and just kind of diving into grading. What we're going to do now is go to my desk and I'm going to show you what graded cards look like and get more into the specifics of those graded cards. This portion of the video is going to be focused on grading and what graded cards are, the small details to them, and, you know, how do I get the process started? I'm probably going to make another video in the near future of how to submit your cards, because, you know, there's so many little things that you need to know in order to submit your cards, and the process is, you know, kind of tedious. You know, so the first thing we're going to get into here is what the small details of a graded card looks like and what the values are. So the first card we have is a 2019 Topps Eloy Jimenez Near Mint PSA 8. So, you know, for modern cards, and what I mean by modern cards in the last 10 years or so, a PSA 8 isn't good at all. So the value of a PSA 8 is going to be less than if the card was not even graded. You know, so when you're looking online on eBay or wherever you're buying cards from, PSA 8s aren't going to be very popular, and a lot of people aren't going to be buying them, so a lot of people don't sell them. So like I said, a PSA 8 is going to be less than an ungraded card. So, you know, when I sent this in, I thought, okay, this had a chance to get a 10. It obviously didn't. I haven't looked and see, you know, what was wrong with it. There's probably some sort of damage I just did not notice. With grading cards, there's going to be different companies you can choose from. There's going to be, you know, the two main ones are PSA and BGS. So that first card I showed you was a PSA. This one is a BGS. So as you can see, we have a different looking case. We have a 9 mint, a 10 autograph, which just means the autograph is pretty well centered. There's no smudges or anything like that. The difference with BGS is the grading system is a little bit different, and it's going to be very confusing. The one thing that you'll have to understand is that BGS 9.5 is the same as a PSA 10. And I'm not saying in value, I'm saying in condition. BGS is less valuable than PSA. You know, if we were looking at, you know, this same card in a PSA 9, it might be worth $150. This one right now is probably close to $100 or so, $110. But a PSA 9 would be closer to $150. You know, that's just because people trust PSA more than any other company, and it is probably the most renowned company for grading. The next thing we're going to look at here is a PSA 9. So I have a PSA 9 in a 2019 Panini Select DK Metcalf Dragon Scale Prism Mint PSA 9. So generally PSA 9s are going to be about the same price as, you know, an ungraded card. You might be paying a little bit more to pay for the premium of having the card graded. So if a card is worth $50, you know, you might be paying $65, $70 for a PSA 9 just because, you know, it was graded. So people are adding that into the price of the card. Now the next thing we're going to look at here is a 2019 Topps Chrome Fernando Tatis Jr. PSA 10 Gem Mint. So kind of the backstory to this and why I like grading so much is for this specific example. So I bought 10 of these cards, ungraded obviously, for about $50 a piece. So I spent $500 total on the cards. And then I got all 10 of them graded at $20 a piece. This was before PSA raised their grading prices, which I think now are like $26 or something. So I spent $700 total on getting this set of 10 graded. I got back an 8.5, 4 9s, and 5 10s. This card, this 10 right now alone is worth almost $500. I did unfortunately sell one of the 10s right when I got my submission back for like $300, and I traded another one for like $350 in value. So, you know, getting cards graded like this is extremely profitable. I spent $700, and I think I've already made back $1,000 already, and I still have 2 10s and 2 9s left, and you know that's still almost $1,500 I have left to sell. So, just getting cards graded is crazy. And the profitability you have on getting 10s and, buying this card for $50 and getting it graded for 20 and getting it back and it being able to be sold for $500 is insane. And that's why I like grading so much. And you are paying quite a bit of money to get cards graded, but, it is worth it. And in the long run, you will be seeing crazy profits. So the next thing we're going to look at here is, just kind of diving into the process just a little bit. So here is my stack of, cards that I have deemed gradable. I haven't sent these in yet, and I probably will in the near future. So what I'm going to show you is, just kind of what these companies are looking at in terms of, grades and what condition they're looking at. So here we have a Ronald Acuna. I believe this is the Topps Chrome update. But as you can see here, it is in pretty good condition. There's not too many scratches. I don't think there is any scratches. And the corners are pretty sharp, as you can see. And there's not too much whiting on the edges. So with some cards, you will notice that there is on the edge some whitening. And what that means is that the card was either, damaged a little bit, or there was just some sort of malfunction in the card creation process to where the card got damaged. So these are all the little small things that, PSA, BGS, these are all the small things that companies will look at and look for when they're grading your cards. So you even have to make sure you're wiping them down very gently with, a microfiber cloth or something like that to make sure there's no fingerprint, to make sure there's no dust, because they're not going to do it for you. So, that's kind of the grading submission process, what I'm looking for. I do, kind of go into each card with a little bit more detail. Just making sure that there are no scratches here, making sure that the edges and, the corners are pretty sharp, and even looking at the back because, they do take in account how well conditioned the back is. So, that is grading there. I will make another video kind of going into, the specifics of grading, but I just kind of want to give you a rundown of, the values of, the 8, 9, and 10. And, kind of the process I have and the mindset I have, in trying to get cards graded and why it is so valuable. I just want to say thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was very informative. There is going to be more videos coming, so like I said earlier, please leave a like, please subscribe. There's going to be a lot more coming. I know I do have an unboxing coming soon. So thank you again. I appreciate it. Have a great one.